Tuperos y tuperas, what is going on? Yes, the Philadelphia Union season is back, and we are talking today about the first matchup of the Philadelphia Union's 2020 season against FC Dallas. But let's get this episode started for you. Done! That is right. Welcome everyone to DOOP by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union with me, El Parcero Philly, and a reminder that this is your PSN Union podcast. And it's actually pretty funny. We just actually recorded this episode earlier today, but of course, you gotta love technology every now and then. Unfortunately, that episode got lost, so I am doing this solo right now for this week, just so we can get you guys what you need to know ahead of the FC Dallas podcast or episode or game. Sorry. So no Liam, no Tim, no Jeff, and no Matt. Just me for today. But we got a lot of stuff to get to, and we got to prepare you for this match against FC Dallas. But before we get into any of that, quick reminder, guys, do not forget to subscribe to this podcast here. We are on everything. Google Podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts. We are on SoundCloud and Spreaker, YouTube as well. So definitely, wherever you listen to podcasts, head on over and subscribe to DOOP by the River. Do not miss an episode. But let's head into this. And before the FC Dallas match, we have some news and notes to get to. First up, let's go over the injury report. There are two players on this injury report at this moment. Andrew Vootend is got what seems to be a quad strain. It doesn't seem to be too severe, but for precautionary reasons, he will not be available in this match against FC Dallas. Now, listen, I understand a lot of you Union fans are not too pleased with Andrew Vootend's performances last season, and he's got a lot to prove to us this season. I agree with that 100%. But listen, behind Sergio Santos Gomes and behind Kasper Shibilko, it was Andrew Vootend. You really don't have anyone else besides Andrew Vootend, so Andrew Vootend's importance this season is going to be crucial. But we are going to miss him for this first matchup, and hopefully we will not need him against FC Dallas. Along with Andrew Vootend, we have Kai Wagner on this injury report. Now, we've talked about it on this podcast before. What is really going on with Kai Wagner? What is the severity of this injury? We haven't gotten much more details other than the fact that we've heard it's a calf injury. On the Philadelphia website, it is reported it is a lower body injury, but we don't know the severity of the injury. We were expected him to be back 3 weeks ago. We said it was told at first it was going to be a 2-week injury and he would be back. Yet Kai Wagner is still not available for this FC Dallas game, and honestly, it doesn't seem like he's going to be too prepared to play that LAFC match next week. So definitely a concern as far as Kai Wagner goes, and this is time for maybe Matt Real to shine for us Union fans as well. But definitely a huge loss for Kai Wagner. Hey, we're Philly sports fans. We understand that injuries affect our teams at times, and we always like to criticize the medical staffs of all 5 of our Philly sports teams, but hey, it must be in the water, right? Let's move on to the contract extensions that went on this week, because they are monumental deals for the Philadelphia Union. The Philadelphia Union have signed Alejandro Bedoya, your captain, through 2021 with an option of 2022. This is a great deal. Listen, Ali's not going anywhere, and he is right along Sebastian Latou when you talk about club greats for the Philadelphia Union. And just to lock him in through 2021, an option for the extra year is significant. He's not going anywhere. He's the engine of your team. He goes where he takes us. So definitely a great signing. And then the other extension was Kasper Shibilko. He has got a contract extension that will run through 2023. Again, another great signing. Last season, we saw that Kasper Shibilko's importance really was huge when he went down, and we missed him in those last matches, the NYCFC match, even the Red Bull match, and of course the match that eliminated us, the Atlanta United in the quarterfinals there. He's important, and when he's on fire, he's really up there when it comes to some of these goal scorers in this league. So his importance was evident last season. He got paid handsomely for an extra couple seasons on the extension here for Kasper Shibilko. So 2 great signings that it is great to get done before the season started so we don't have too many distractions during the season. And the club favorites, guys, are going to be staying down there in Chester. All right, let's move on, guys. The Philadelphia Union have made a huge move that is something that us Union fans have finally gotten, that we've asked for the past couple seasons. The Philadelphia Union announced their TV deal. It was much anticipated by a lot of us. It was announced that we will be back on PHL 17, but not only that, we will also have matches on 6 ABC, as well as having online streams that will be available to you if you are in the Philadelphia area on the Philadelphia Union website. That is the big news right there. That is what we all have been waiting for, that option to do the online streaming. With the way technology is moving, a lot of us don't even have a cable company. The streaming game has been growing, and it has been the absolute go-to option for a lot of Americans, especially in this Philadelphia area, and the Union are keeping up with this trend. And thank you, Philadelphia Union, for making this move, because this is really what we wanted. And of course, if you are outside of the Philadelphia area and you want to catch the Philadelphia Union matches, we are available on ESPN Plus for you to watch as well, wherever you are at, on a laptop, phone, whatever you have. The Union are giving you ways to watch. There's no more excuses of not being able to watch. You can watch this in your car. You can watch this at work. For Christ's sakes, if you have to take a shit upstairs, you can watch this on there as well. You have different options to watch the Union matches, and that is really another big step for the Union to make as a club. Speaking of making big moves as a club, the Philadelphia Union have re-emerged the Philadelphia Union Spanish-speaking account. That is right. The account that has been much asked for by a lot of Union fans is finally back. Listen, it's been since 2016 since this account has even tweeted anything. And a lot of fans, as you guys saw on the tweet that they put out as the first tweet in introducing themselves back to the Twitter world, all the fans have been asking what happened to this account. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is back. And if you want to follow it, head on over to Twitter at Fila, like the clothing brand, Fila, F-I-L-A, Union. Head on over there. Even if you do not speak Spanish, you want to support, definitely head on over and follow that account. Expect a lot of big things from that account. You already saw the video of Sergio Santos Gomes, Aurelien Colin, and Jose Andres El Brujo Martinez putting up the first promo video, allowing them to shine their personalities. And that was definitely great to see from those guys as well. Expect a lot of big things from that account, and you very well might see someone you recognize on that as well. So thank you, Philadelphia Union. And the Philadelphia Union, with both these two moves that I just told you guys, these are moves that fans have asked them to do, and they listened to you and they delivered to you. So kudos to the Union for listening to their consumer and delivering on what they have promised. All right, guys, the last bit of news here, guys, really not news, just trying to, foreshadow what's to come. We have a couple watch parties that are happening this weekend, and guys, wait till the end. You do not want to miss what we have for you there. All right, guys, well, let's just dive right into this matchup here. The Philadelphia Union, Week 1, matching up against FC Dallas down in Big D. Now, it's funny because last season when we were going into the first match, I don't know about you guys, but I felt excited going into the season. I felt like this was the perfect Philadelphia Union team. A lot of people were doubting them, but I saw the talent. I saw the fact that they were bringing back players and bringing on new players that I felt were going to have an early impact. And then we went in against a Toronto FC team that we forgot played monumental matches before that. They were in the CCL. And they played, significant minutes of soccer. And that really was the difference in that first game, the reason why we lost, and some of the Union fans lost it in that first game. But this time around, it's a little bit different, because both the Union and FC Dallas haven't really played much. Really, just preseason is all they really got. So we really don't know what to expect from both sides. Another thing is that the Union, it's crazy, in their going on to their 11th season, have never won in Dallas. They've never won in Frisco Park. I don't even know whatever it's called now. I remember it was called Pizza Hut Park at one point, but down in Frisco, they've never won, and that's something to keep an eye out and keep in mind as well. Last year when we faced off against FC Dallas, it was early on in the season. If you guys remember, it was the start of a lot of comeback matches that the Union gave you last season. We were down 1-0 for essentially the entire match. FC Dallas scored early in the 10th minute, and then in the 85th minute, Corey Burke. Shouts to Corey Burke, man. We really miss you up here in Philly. He got the goal scoring started, and then Alejandro Bedoya in the 92nd minute was the game hero, and then had his great impression of Bryce Harper in the corner at the corner of the pitch there. That was a fun match, and again, that was the match that started what we saw last season with this Philadelphia Union team, the comeback boys. If you guys remember, that was great to see. So this matchup against FC Dallas, listen, there's a lot of new pieces for both sides. Of course, with us, the midfield really is what's going to be different next season. For FC Dallas, though, this is a good young team that, you know, last season, if you guys remember, they really gave a lot of freaking fits to Seattle, to the MLS Cup champion Seattle Sounders, and really that was the team that gave them the most difficulties. And they got eliminated in the first round, and now you expect this young team with all that seasoning that they got last season to improve upon last year and have a bigger season. Now this team does have star player, or not necessarily star players, but guys that are emerging as stars in this young league here as well. Now, when we look at the roster of or the squad of FC Dallas, we first got to start off. Besides the youth, let's look at the back lines to start off with. Obviously, you know, Reggie Cannon is a youth international with the U.S. men's national team. He has been a staple essentially for one of Greg Berhalter's teams. He's been called up a couple times, and he's one of the guys in contention for the fullback positions. You also have Matt Hedges, Rito Ziegler, and last but not least, as the other fullback position, we have Hollingshead. It's a pretty solid back line that did a solid job for FC Dallas last season. They conceded the fourth least amount of goals last year in the 2020 season of the MLS. And then, of course, their goalkeeper, young 24-year-old Jesse Gonzalez, getting his second season in there. And it's going to be exciting to see what he can do as well for FC Dallas. The midfield, you have guys, of course, like you have a Paxton Pomykal, who is a guy who was, you know, compared a lot to Brennan Aronson. Those guys really emerge at the right times for both respective squads. And it's going to be interesting to see. He's kind of dropped back more as a regista role. Last season, at the beginning of the year, he was playing more up top, more as that number 10. But now he is a guy that comes back from the back line, brings the ball up, and makes the smart passes to get the offense going, or the attack going for FC Dallas. He's going to have a vital role, and I'm expecting him to take that next step in his development. Alongside him, I expect to see Brian Acosta, a young Hondureño defensive midfielder who's tenacious. In the midfield, listen, there's a lot of speed on this team. I'm expecting Michael Barrios, and our former favorite player here, Fafa Pico, is probably going to be out on the wings with the Colombian-American Jesus Ferreira playing as essentially that 10, but he's more of an attacking-minded guy, so he's going to play more of like that holding guy, essentially. And then at that center forward position, you would expect, I'm not even going to attempt this name, the Czech player, Orndrazik. So if you know the proper pronunciation, definitely let us know, guys. But he's a lethal guy as a number 9. That center forward. He's had caps with the Czech Republic as well. So last season with Luchi Gonzalez, this FC Dallas team, when Odrazik wasn't there, they were more of a 4-3-3, you know, high pressing type of team. With Odrazik in there, they went to more of the 4-2-3-1 with a clear number 9 there. It was easy for them to go to that formation, to say the least. You know, I expect them to try to attack out wide with the speed that they have, try to feed the ball into the center of the pitch. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on the outside guys for the Philadelphia Union, especially those fullbacks. You know, they're going to want to try to attack out from out wide. Without Kai Wagner, I don't know how much they're going to do that, but the guys out wide are going to have a vital role in this matchup, to say the least. Now, for us guys, as far as the way we're going to line up, I don't expect any changes. We've seen it in the preseason. It's a 4-2-3. It's a 4-4-2 diamond is what I expect to see against FC Dallas come Saturday afternoon. This is going to be the go-to formation. I don't expect to see a lot of the 4-2-3-1 unless we make adjustments at halftime to switch into that. And same thing with the 3-5-2. I definitely think we will see 3-5-2 this season, but it's going to be an adjustment, in a second half adjustment for the Union. So I see the 4-4-2 diamond to start it off. And in goal, I see Andre Blake getting the start there. No surprise there. Andre, he's going to get that job. He's going to get the majority of the starts. We will see Matt Freese every now and then this season, but for right now, you will see Andre Blake. In the back line, starting from left to right, no Kai Wagner. So that means Matt Real has to step up for us, and he's going to have a vital role. And this is this opportunity to shine. Show us that you are ready for this moment, Matt. Next to him, we will see Mark McKenzie, Jack Elliott, and Ray Gaddis. Similar back line to last season. I expect these guys to continue that continuity from last year. Ray Gaddis, will you make us riot this week? Will you? All right, let's move on to the midfield. Starting from left to right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we will see Brandon Aronson starting at that left shuttle midfielder. As that number 6 role, we will see Matej Orvic at that right shuttle midfielder. We will have Alejandro Bedoya. At the tip of the diamond, we will see Jamiro Montero to start off this season. Excuse me as I hydrate while I'm alone here. This was a tough decision for me, guys, because you guys know I'm a huge fan of Jose Andres Martinez. But I understand that he's still a little raw. He still needs to learn how this league works, essentially. So I think that what we've seen in preseason, this is Orvic's position to start with. This is not his position that he's going to keep. He needs to play to keep his position as at number 6. But it's definitely refreshing to see. We will see that Saturday, to see a number 6 who not only can distribute the ball and make those smart passes, but play a little defense. And that's going to alleviate pressure on the center backs, Andre Blake, of course, the full backs as well. Having a 6 that can play that vital role is going to be so huge this season, guys. And it was tough for me to decide who would start that left shuttle midfielder, who would start the number 10. I knew Brandon Aronson, Jamiro Montero would be in this lineup, but this season, we saw it last year, these guys can interchange. But I believe right now, Brandon Aronson, just put him out there on the left, let him ease into this season, and I expect the Union to keep up that high press. And I want to see Jamiro Montero on that high press. I want him to smother this back line of FC Dallas that is pretty good with playing with the ball at their feet. So that rounds out my midfield. And up top, no surprise again, I see Sergio Santos Gomes, and I also see Kasper Shabilko starting as your forwards there. Listen, we've heard this offseason. These guys have a chemistry going, and this is a tandem that's supposed to be dangerous. We will see how dangerous they are in this match and see how much chemistry these two actually have. I'm expecting big things from these two forwards, to say the least. Look, this is not going to be an easy match. And quite honestly, guys, this might be a slugfest. This might not be as entertaining as some of you might think, because it is the first match. These teams still have to get their feet wet in this MLS season. But at the end of the day, look, this Union team I'm buying. This is a talented Philadelphia Union squad. And what is more important to remember here is a lot of people in Philadelphia like to write off the Philadelphia Union, right? But this team is they have Philadelphia written all over them. The way they play, the chip on their shoulder, the underdog mentality. There's nothing more Philadelphia than this Philadelphia Union team. And I think with that edge and that mentality is why I think they're going to advance similarly to the way they did last season. It's not going to be easy down in Dallas, but I see the Philadelphia Union getting a victory here, 2-1 against FC Dallas. It should be honestly, guys, it should be a fun matchup to say the least, guys. But let's talk about something a little bit as far as league wise goes. So the MLS.com came out with the first power rankings for the 2020 season. And ladies and gentlemen, your Philadelphia Union to start off this power rankings are in 7th place. Not a bad start for the Philadelphia Union to start off the season. Let me just round off the top 10 real quick. In number 1, obviously your reigning MLS Cup champions, the Seattle Sounders. At 2, we have LAFC, the Supporters Shield winners from last season. At 3, you have the Eastern Conference reigning champs, NYCFC. At 4, we have Atlanta United. At 5, we have Toronto FC, who, are actually the reigning Eastern Conference champions. NYFC were the Eastern Conference champs in the regular season. At 6, you got LA Galaxy. 8, we have Minnesota United. At 9, it seems as if the rest of the league are buying in on that Columbus Crew Gatorade because they are at number 9 in this first power rankings. And at 10 is that same team we will be facing off against on Saturday, FC Dallas. It seems like the MLS is buying in on FC Dallas. Listen, I want teams to doubt us. I want teams to write us off because I feel that's when the Union play at their best. When people are not believing in them. They love that because they believe in themselves. Literally, they are all they got and they are all they need. So that was definitely interesting to see that the MLS sees the Philadelphia Union as a 7th team in the MLS rankings. And the other list that caught my eye, guys, I wanted to touch upon as well was the top 50 players in the MLS because at 47, ladies and gentlemen, we have your captain, Alejandro Bedoya, made the list as the 47th best player. Not bad for Ali Bedoya, to say the least. Listen, he's a U.S. men's national team favorite. Like anyone who's a fan of the U.S. men's national team remember his time with the national team and the importance he had with the team. And he's been a staple for the MLS. He was one of the big players, one of the first big players to sign with the Philadelphia Union, a DP that happened to be American. That was huge for the league and for the franchise as well. And having him as old as, he's not that old, but as old as he is and being number 47th in the league, that is definitely high praise to say the least. And then at number 20, we had Jamiro Monteiro. Interesting to see that Jamiro made at least top 25. He's in the top half of this list here, and that's definitely good to see. He definitely showed you something last season. He, to me, is the most skilled player on this Union squad, and I just think he's only getting started. Like, I think this season he's going to have an even better year. He's going to be even more tenacious. He's going to be even more technical. He's going to have even more goals as well. So I'm excited to see what Jamiro Monteiro is going to do for the Philadelphia Union. All right, good stuff, guys. Let's move on now to some questions that some of you guys gave us. And, thank you again, guys, for bringing in those questions. Listen, this is the People's Podcast. I keep telling you guys, and we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear whatever you guys want to know as far as the Philadelphia Union. I figure let's start off now with these questions with Instagram here. On Instagram, we got from RC Gray, and he wants to know, do you think Santos and Wooten can pick up the scoring load after last season? Now, here's what I have to say to this. As cliche as this line is, just do your job. Everyone on the Philadelphia Union, do your job. If everyone does their job on this team, you don't have to worry about Casper and Sergio taking on the scoring load. Like, the team will find ways to score goals. They just have to continue playing like a team. They're not going to beat people with individual talent. We know this. As long as this team plays hard for over 90 minutes, play as a team, they will be successful next year. And then we have from Champagne Sandro. Shout out to Alessandro. Was a former member of the Philadelphia Union. He worked in the front office, I believe, as an intern. But now he's down in Inter Miami with our girl Alyssa Gentile. Shouts out AG, one of the best front office people we had up here in Philly, and they are now down there in Inter Miami. And they want to, he wants to know actually, how do you think the Union will fare against Inter Miami? Look, I'm not gonna look that far ahead. I will say this: when it comes to Inter Miami, just looking at the roster they have on paper. I mean, even the lineup they have on paper, it's definitely one of the better expansion team lineups that we have ever seen in the MLS. So I'm looking forward to what they will do. Their first match was against LAFC. Talk about coming into this league with a bang. Like, they have to face off against LAFC. And then Nashville has to face off against Atlanta. Like, it's not easy for these expansion teams in their first season. So that should certainly be interesting to see. I'm definitely excited to see what Inter Miami can turn out to be for this league here. All right, let's look at now. We did also get a couple of good questions on the Twitter page. We're going to pull those bad boys up. Let's see here. All right, so let's start off here with our guys at Tallahassee Union. So they asked us 3 questions. It looks like I did answer some of these. First question, how will the Union line up against FC Dallas, Diamond, or something else? And we answered that. I believe they will line up in that 4-4-2 Diamond. Who starts at number 6? We answered that as well. Mr. Sexy Season will get the start there. And does Fafa score? Now, I will say that Fafa in the last preseason game for FC Dallas was our last preseason game, and we faced off against each other, go figure, and Fafa got a goal in that match, so he got it out the way. That was his goal against his former squad. I believe Fafa will not score, but I can very well see Fafa getting an assist in this matchup as well. All right. From my boy Jesse James Larch. Overall MLS question, which league newcomer will have the biggest impact? Pizarro, Chicharito, or a different name? Now, Jesse, this is a fantastic question. I'm really glad you asked this because I don't think it's going to be either of those 2 players. And I'm going to look in the Midwest, and I'm looking at a squad who fell off bad last season, and that is SKC. Sporting Kansas City. Last year had a very uncharacteristic season. They didn't even make the playoffs. They were like 2nd or 3rd to last in the Western Conference. So not a typical SKC season. What do? They went out and signed Alin Polido from Chivas de Guadalajara. And this is the biggest signing that SKC essentially has had. And I'm excited to see what he do because this is a dangerous goal scorer. And this is really what Peter Vermees needs. He's got that number 9 that he really has always wanted. He's wanted this player for a long time now. And there's no excuse for SKC to succeed this season. So the expectations are high at SKC, especially on Alin Polido. And I'm going to be interested to see what he can do. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for everyone who sent over those questions, guys. Keep sending those questions week in and week out. We really appreciate it. We really want to hear what you guys want to know, what you have to say as well. So good stuff. All right, last but not least, before we sign off, guys, if you are wondering, you don't have any plans yet of what to do for the Union match, don't worry, I got you covered, guys. I'm going to give you guys some different options you guys can do, or maybe you're like on the fence whether you want to do this with one certain thing or not. Maybe we have some better options for you. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to let you know some of the watch parties, some different options you guys can do as far as where and when to watch the Philadelphia Union match tomorrow against FC Dallas. So as far as the watch parties goes, the Philadelphia Union will be throwing 2 watch parties. One of them will be in the city, in Fishtown, right down the street here from me. Goose Island Brewery will be one of the watch parties for the Union. It's definitely a cool brewery. I actually was there last Saturday with the girlfriend and her friends, and I had a good time. The beer was good. Definitely check out the SPF, $3 a can. It's a nice 16-ounce boy, and it's tasty. It's a nice little sour, so it's definitely a good spot. Very chill vibes there. If you're looking for chill vibes, I don't know how chill it's going to be, honestly, tomorrow. It's probably going to be packed with Union fans, I'm expecting, especially in that area. So that's definitely a good option. If you want to hang out with some cool SOBs, Sons of Ben is throwing a packing party and a viewing party at Fieldhouse. That is right next to Reading Terminal, that here in Center City. Another good option if you want to hang out with Sons of Ben. A lot of the leaders of Sons of Ben will be there. So that's another good option if you are looking for a Center City option. If you're looking for something a little more quieter, a little more low-key, Gran Cafe L'Aquila on Chestnut in Center City will have the game on. They will not have the volume on it. That's the only thing. So that's why I said it's a little low key. But listen, you can go there, get yourself a nice little espresso, some homemade gelato, get yourself some homemade pasta, and enjoy the game. And get yourself a nice little glass of wine, and it's a very cool laid back spot. Just the volume will not be on, but that's definitely an option if you're in that area. For the people who are outside of the city, East Falls, down in East Falls, there's Franklin's Pub. Shouts out to Jeffrey Mitchell. If you want more information, definitely hit him up on Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to use. But that's a definitely good spot. I've watched a couple matches there last season. A lot of SOBs. They even Keystone Light I even saw last year there. So if you want to hang out with Keystone Light, Keystone State Ultra, sorry, they are there as well. It's a chill. It's very chill vibes as well. The good amount of Union fans that show up last season, we had good turnouts for the away matches there, and they actually we had so much good turnouts that they even have made some deals for us. There are some drink specials. I'm not 100% sure if there are food specials, but it's definitely a good option to check out if you're outside of Philly, especially like you're in that northwest region of outside of Philadelphia. That's definitely a good spot. That is East Falls, Franklin's Pub. If you're out in media, the Union are throwing another watch party out there. Sterling Pig Brewery. Never been there, but from what I hear from my man Tim Lovinguth, who lives in the area, he's a good old Delco boy. It's a cool spot, good beer. And of course, again, that's another Union watch party. So if you're in the Delco area and you want to watch it with fellow Union fans, that's another good option there for you. If you're out in the Lancaster area, shouts out to Brendan Engel. I believe it's Engel. Brendy's Pub out in Lancaster is another good option if you're in that area. You don't want to drive all the way here. You want to get out the house. That's another good option for you. That's Brendy's Pub in Lancaster. Definitely check that out. In South Jersey, I didn't really see much. I hope that PJs can finally, live up to being an affiliate of the Philadelphia Union and put on some matches. But don't bank on that if you are near PJ's pub or brewer or whatever, PJ's Willihan's. If you are in the South Jersey area, from what I hear, Zed's Brewery, there's one in Marlton. They are a pretty Union-friendly brewery, and they usually play the matches there. So if you're in the Marlton area, you can head on over there to watch the Philadelphia Union, and you can enjoy while drinking some good Zed's beer. So those are some options for you guys. If you want to go out, if you do somehow want to stay inside, and you are looking for a good live stream to watch, you can watch the Philly Sports Network live stream. Our very own Liam Jenkins will have a live stream set up for us, and you can watch with him. He'll give you some nice live commentary. Now, listen, Liam is Mr. Philadelphia Eagles these days, but do not doubt my man's soccer knowledge. He grew up with the sport. He's a big Carleton Athletic fan, and he knows the ins and outs of this game, and he is excited to get these live streams going because, like I said, he's a big soccer guy, and he loves the Philadelphia Union as much as any of us. So that can be found on the YouTube channel. We will put up a link before the match starts, so you guys can check that out as well. But if you want to stay at home, you want a nice little live stream, I know that is what a lot of people want these days. Liam has got us covered with that, to say the least. But guys, that's really all I have for you today. Thanks for listening. If you did listen to this, we promise next week we will have more than just me. I actually have a special guest on for the LAFC match, so I'm looking forward to that. But guys, keep sending in those questions. Make sure to let people know about this podcast. Subscribe to it, guys, and of course check out Philly Sports Network, not only for all your Union needs, but of course for everything Philly sports, from the Eagles even all the way to the Fusion. We got you covered with Philly sports, of course. All right, guys, that is all I got for you today. I am El Parcero Philly, telling you guys to DOOP on. I'll talk to you soon.